Hey, it's Tpok. I am back in Analogue, a hate story. And let's get back to reading from King Chung-Su. Kim, not King. The second month of the 319th year was one of the great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage age to give him, to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son, and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give, only my son Young Suk was still without child. Yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it is true. Passed on through generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside. She is known as the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did have a daughter who would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family from years could be adopted as my own daughter. She's a strange child, but will make for a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune this means. That's messed up, man. You don't just go, yo, you're gonna be the bride because you're an egg. Last week I woke up from cryostasis. Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again, that I'd finally get better, that I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. That is my dog barking in the background. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks. So yeah, one of the E.G. Wilson, I think was the username, used saying how basically you'll see how everyone's really stupid. And yeah, so far I've seen that, and it's looking to be increasingly more so. Oh no, I needed to show her messages. I'll show you this one. Oh, Do you want more from King Young Suk's wife, or do you want the reply from her mother? Oh jeez. Her. Very well, I can give you a couple from his wife. Here you are. Dearest Mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the Pale Bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I have ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace, with Young Suk's adopted mother visiting her own family. I have been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She's in trouble so often, one would think she were a boy. She acts like one too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. Just last night she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of Young Suk and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She has said this before too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She is, of course, in perfect health. When I asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she's far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? She's sick. Oh my gosh. Do you wanna... Oh, I already showed you. Oh, That's awkward. I hit the wrong button. The new wife? The new girl. Okay. I just need to find out her name. My new wife moved in last week, and she's been pestering me ever since. Everywhere I go in the house, she's either following me or waiting outside the door. The first time it happened, it unnerved me like nobody would believe. The most recent time, I'd stopped being unnerved and moved on to just plain annoyed. I only had one thought. Why won't this silly girl just give me some peace? No wonder her parents were so anxious to send her to our home. Hours before, she'd been hanging around in the room. I finally kicked her out when my mathematics tutor arrived. The session went without any hitch, aside from reminding me just how much I hated the damn subject. And after a few hours, he left. And who's kneeling right outside my door? It's her, of course. Have you been here the whole time? I asked her. Of course she had. For the love of, we need to talk. So I brought her back in and we sat her down at the desk. What is this? You're driving me insane. I don't have the time to be babysitting you constantly, I said. I wasn't angry, just annoyed. But she looked alarmed all the same. For a moment, I was worried she was going to start crying. Instead, she just turned her head away. Do you hate me? She asked. Women. Why must they be so damn emotional? I reminded myself that I was talking to a female. I needed to approach this differently. Look, I said, you're very pretty. I appreciate that you're trying. So no, of course I don't hate you. She looked back at me, seeming like she was holding back tears. Then why don't you need me for anything? Is there nothing I can do for you? No, not unless you can help me study the classics. She looked down. Right now, nothing is more important to me than passing the civil service exam. Can you even read? A little, she said. A little isn't enough, I replied. What if I sat in on your lessons? I could learn more. I'd be quiet, of course. Please. I was about to say no. Then I changed my mind and agreed when I heard her next line. At least give me a chance to earn your approval. Please. You wanna check out this message? Huh, I suppose you find him interesting. Well, I don't think there's really anything else you would find relevant. Okay, well, thank you, Hyune. Let's go home. The new girl. I don't know what this clock is. Oh, recent. Okay. The new girl. Dearest mother, it seems as though there will be a new girl in the family. I don't really understand the details, but her name is the Pale Bride, and it seems as though she is a 13... What? That's messed up. She's a 13-year-old girl who has been kept inside a giant egg through some sort of magical technology, passed through the Kim family over the generations. As I said, I don't understand how such a thing is possible, but she seems nice enough. Young Suk seems quite annoyed at her arrival, however. He explained to me why. The plans to offer her as a concubine to the emperor. She's young and beautiful, and he's still without a son, so it'll probably go a long way in incurring favor. And that's bad, I asked him. Not strictly, he admitted. But it means father doesn't have much faith in me if he's making contingency plans that don't require my involvement. Now, I'll never know if my success was on my own merits or because the emperor thinks the girl he'll give him is cute. Did you ever tell him your plan of working your way to becoming High Magistrate? If he knows that, how can he think a contingency is necessary? I asked. Good question, he said, and left the room looking annoyed. To this day, these worries of his still seem to plague him, and I can't seem to do anything to relieve him of that. I'm really sorry, please don't get mad, but I really don't understand what you're looking for. Maybe I'm just not getting it and it's my fault, but I can't find anything that seems relevant. Sorry. Well, that's awkward. I'm out of stuff. Maybe I'll just ask her more about other stuff, I guess. Block 4. Oh, Sojin. Wow, thank you, Hune, for being helpful. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Who's something else? I don't know. Oh wait, let's go. Pale Bride is what I want. Can I search? Pale. Pale Bride. Never mind. Where is... So block 9's almost full. Ah. Show you this message. The Pale Bride did keep an extensive diary. I'll try to find you some more entries. Did I get some? Please? She's got... No, she doesn't have something to say. Oh well, here we go, more unread messages. Dear Diary, today I was forced to stay in the home all day. I didn't get to leave yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, or any other day either. I want to write about how much the ship has changed since I was put into stasis, but I can't even see it. I keep asking why I'm being kept a prisoner. Nobody will tell me. That woman who keeps bossing me around, she's awful. I'm dying here. I keep telling her I'm sick. That's why I was in stasis to begin with. But she won't listen. She just treats me like I'm a stupid kid. I tried to argue with her. Look at how pale I am. Can't you see that I'm sick? I swear I'm not making up what she said in response. Why must you be so rude? It's not polite for a girl to boast about her beauty. Beauty? I tried not to cry in front of her. I have to do that a lot. I'm not beautiful. I have a compromised immune system. I shouted at her and ran away. I don't remember what she said back. Something about using big words, I think. How stupid is she? She hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. That's not why I'm allowed to go visit the ship plaza, though. Chung-Soo, the man who keeps telling me to call him father, said the same thing. He promised me that I would have a chance to leave soon, though. I don't think he was being nice, though. I'll write about him more later. Right now I have to go to bed, or the woman will get mad at me again. I'll just let you keep reading. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, gotta read all of these. Oh, there are a lot. Dear Diary, I got in trouble today, but for the first time it was my own fault. A little bit, at least. I think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write it, it looks ridiculous. God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my room... Console. Not council. In my room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth, or any of my books or anything. I mean there's literally nothing for me to entertain myself with at all. Nothing. So I thought to myself that maybe sister-in-laws might be different and checked. It wasn't, so instead I decided to go check in Father's study. Not snooping or anything, just looking on his computer for books. I had a thought it might be bad, but my real father never would have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there for maybe 10 minutes looking for anything that was even written in Korean. There was nothing. By the way, every single book, symbols that looked like Chinese characters, every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted, and everyone forgot how to read Korean. And also they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why. It just sucks. Anyway, I was only in there for 10 minutes, searching through the console when Young Suk walked in. I thought he was going to get angry, but actually he just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out, he just looked really worried. I only got in trouble when he brought me back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was?" She was in the men's quarters, looking through her father's computer. "Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw that? You're supposed to be watching her." She apologized repeatedly to him. I just didn't know what to say. I don't think sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and really awful lecture. Why would you go into the men's quarters? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? Do you really not understand that you're a girl? I told her I didn't understand. I mean, of course I'm a girl. But I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured at me more. I hate her so much. That thing's flash. Oh, she's got something to say. So there's probably one big question that's on your mind, isn't there? That isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened between the pale bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right? Right. I figured, I mean, it's the obvious question. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid that mystery is forever lost to time. I guess that's pretty anticlimactic. Sorry. I really want to know too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really, really big. But I'm afraid all that log data from before year 1 was wiped, and all the clocks were reset. I guess that's why it was called year 1. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even how long it was in between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I don't really know. So yeah, really sorry to let you down here, but that part's going to be a mystery forever. There's nobody who could possibly know. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry. Well, that's fine, Hyune. Straight to hell. Let's read that one. Dear Diary, the nightmare has gone for so long, I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have a new theory. Father was wrong about the cryostasis keeping me alive until I could be cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. I decided I'm going to write down all the things I used to be able to do just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books. I used to be able to have friends. I used to be able to go to school. I used to be able to leave the home and go visit the plaza or anywhere else on the ship. I think I even used to be able to be in any part of the house I wanted and talk to visitors as much as I'd like. I have memories of always spending time with my father and mother and brother in the living room. I know my real father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know, I'm so confused now. I thought he always taught me to be strong and speak up for myself. Did he really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course. But the scary thing is sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think if I was just obedient to what sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive. It's just sometimes. I'm scared though. What if I end up really believing that? Well, don't. Oh, you've got more stuff to say. Nice. Say, before you keep going, can I just interrupt you for a couple of minutes? Sure. Thanks, it's just, well, you're finding out so much more about the Mugunghwa. Mugunghwa. But I really know absolutely nothing about where you're from. It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries. I mean, I don't like that either. But the ship is all I really know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilization for so long. So you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or I guess maybe a future version of it? Sure, yeah. Right, of course. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. I know it's the planet we all come from. But I don't really know anything at all about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they're really right. But you know all about it, right? I mean, even if you're not there yourself, you know what it's like, right? Yeah. Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like it's a big sphere that everyone lives on, and there's unimaginably vast amounts of open space. And you can only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky all looks blue during the day. All of this is just what I know from the Pale Bride. I never saw Earth. She was the second generation, born on the ship after it had long left her star system. But her parents were born on Earth, so she heard some stories from them when she was young, and I think they brought a lot of books and movies with them. I don't know. I'm just a little skeptical given that she was just a child when she learned all that. Maybe she got mixed up. What can I actually ask in a yes or no question? I didn't really realize how hard this would be. Well, alright. So, the Mugunghwa was originally supposed to be establishing a colony at some star or establishing a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did other ships ever succeed where we didn't, or is it just still Earth? I have no idea. I'm assuming if you trying to get a colony on a star, there are other planets. Well, that's wonderful to hear. Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't just metaphors? Like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it into words. But the pale bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something that happened when you just happened to you just emotionally. On Earth, it was when actually an entire part of the planet turned frigid. Does that have any sort of basis in reality? Actually, yes. Wow, my word, that's amazing. Seriously? That sounds like I can't even imagine that. What else was there? Oh, there was the city that her parents were from. I think it was called Pyongyang. They described it as being amazing. If you looked up, all you would see were huge white buildings, bright white buildings, as tall as 100 or more decks. And on the I'm not quite sure for the word for this. It means sort of the bottom deck. Anyway, they said that at the bottom the streets were lined with willow trees, and the tops of the building had flower gardens. Have you ever been to that city before, or at least heard of it? No, I haven't. So, I'm gonna go no. Oh. Well, maybe it doesn't really exist then. Still, it's an amazing thought. It probably is real. I should have said yes, but I honestly don't know. I don't know if she's gonna throw in a trick question. Like, they said they met in one of those gardens up in the sky and fell in love at first sight. I guess the gardens probably aren't real, and maybe love at first sight isn't either. But geez, it's so awfully romantic, isn't it? That's really my question, I guess. Is Earth worth being romantic about? Of course. Well, I guess I've already wasted enough of your time with all my silly questions, haven't I? There's just, well, please humor me once more. Then I promise I'll stop bothering you. Do you think I could ever see Earth? It's possible. Well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic, and I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks. Very well. I promise that I'd stop wasting your time. So, what did you want to ask me about? What? Okay. Wife. Dear Diary, today I found why the household servant, I still can't believe we have one, why, has been so insistent on teaching me how to cook. Well, she doesn't call it that, she calls it serving meals. A year ago, I wouldn't have thought that sounded sinister. Now I know better. I don't care about this, I told her after the 7th day in a row of her lessons. Can't we do something else, like going back to sewing? I've always loved cosplay, let's do that. I know it's not fun, but your sister wants you to learn this, too, and it's very important. Your father is concerned too, so take it seriously, please, young miss. Don't call me that. I said I don't remember exactly what I said to prompt her next response along the lines of, why is it important or something. I don't remember what I said, just her response which blew me away. So you'll make a good wife, of course. Again, I don't remember what I said in response. Maybe I told her I didn't want to. Maybe I told her I was too young to care about that. Maybe I said I'd just go marry someone who was good at it himself when it was time to take care about that. Whatever I said, she didn't take it seriously. Don't be silly, she said, as if I was obviously joking. Your father is really is worried about your marriage next year. Now is not the time to joke on the matter. My what? I asked her. Oh my, she said. He's never told you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Pretend I said nothing. I didn't mean to ruin the surprise. I'm sure he'd want to explain the happy news himself. Are you serious? I asked. The idea didn't make any sense, but since when did anything in this hell make sense? She said yes. You're going to be happy to hear who it... You're going to be so happy to hear who it is. He'd better explain, I shouted as I stormed off. He'd better. I'm going to show you this message. Oh, hi. Say, do you mind taking a break for a couple of minutes just to chat? Go ahead. Thanks, I appreciate that. Really, I appreciate that you're here. I know you've got ulterior motives. What they are, I'm not really sure, but most people do. And that's alright all the same. I'm glad you're reading these logs, though. Even if you don't really care, it's better than nobody from outside the ship ever seeing them. Which is what I thought for sure would happen. Or am I just being cynical? If so, my apologies. Please tell me, what do you think about what you've read of the Pale Bride? It's tragic, that's what I feel. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm really glad to hear you say that. Nobody else seemed to think so. There's something... Well, here, I've added another message for you. Just, well, why don't you read it yourself? Oh, okay then. I certainly will. Oh, that's the one I read. Wife. Oh, I can talk to her again. But first I'm gonna save. Can I overwrite my save? Yeah? 17%. Not too bad, not too bad. But, guys, before I continue, I'm gonna... Well, I'm not gonna continue for today. So, I'm gonna end it here. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.